In this video, we'll learn how to integrate Jazz with Tofu, export your extractions, and import them into Jazz. So to get started, we just need to ensure that the Jazz integration in our organization is enabled. We can do that by going to Overview, Settings, Features, and then enable this option here. Do take note that this can only be enabled by someone with owner permissions in Tofu. Once that's enabled, we can proceed to API keys, because Jazz requires an API key for the integration. We just need to create a new API key here. For example, you can name it My Jazz Account, or anything that helps you easily identify it. Once it's created, make sure to copy the API key, as this is very important. After you've generated the API key in Tofu, we'll head over to our Jazz accounting software and simply log in. Once you're logged in, click the top right menu, then go to Account Settings, Access Management. This is where we'll be entering the API key from Tofu. Simply click the New API Key button. Paste the API key that we generated earlier from Tofu, then select Admin for the permission. That's it. There's no need to change anything else. Just click Save. Once that's done, I also highly suggest copying the API key one more time because we'll be using it again to connect Jazz back to Tofu. Now, we'll select the entity that we want to integrate, then go to Settings, Integrations, Add New Integration, and simply choose Jazz. Do take note that this integration is still in early access. This means your accounting settings, chart of accounts, tax rates, contacts, and other setup from your Jazz account will flow into Tofu. However, automatic publishing or two-way sync is not yet available, which is why it's still considered early access. This is where you'll paste the API key that came from Jazz. Then simply click Connect. Now there's just one last step remaining. Since the available modules in Tofu right now are AP, AR, and direct expense, and bank statements are not yet supported, we highly recommend enabling self-prompt before activating the integration. So, what is self-prompt? This allows the AI in Tofu to learn from your historical records that already exist in Jazz. We highly recommend turning it on for AP, AR, and direct expense. Then simply click Activate. And that's it. Your integration is now connected. To make sure everything has been integrated properly, you can go to the Accounting section and verify that your accounting settings have successfully synced into Tofu. You can also check your tax rates, chart of accounts, currencies, contacts, products and services, and even your tags or tracking tags. Now let's do a sample upload. We'll go back to the Tofu homepage, then Document View, and simply upload a document. I'll be selecting an AP bill as an example. We'll just wait for it to finish processing until its status changes to Needs Review. All right, now we're ready to validate it. We'll just need to make sure that everything has been extracted correctly and that all the required fields are filled in. For example, if the account wasn't captured correctly, we'll simply select the correct account. For the reference, we can enter something like Sample. It's always best to avoid leaving any required fields blank. Once everything looks good and you're satisfied with the extracted information in Tofu, simply click Save. From here, we can already export this as a Jazz Excel template. Also, take note that the 3 More Actions menu is only for exporting individual transactions. If you have multiple transactions uploaded in Tofu and you'd like to export them all at once, simply select the checkbox beside each transaction. As you'll notice, additional options will appear, including the total number of selected transactions. From there, you can click Export to export them in bulk. For the template, simply select Jazz, which is the Excel template, and then click Export. Once the export is completed successfully in Tofu, we'll go back to Jazz to import the file. The module you'll use depends on the transaction type. For AP bills, go to Purchases, Bills, Import Bills. For AR sales invoices, go to Sales, Invoices, Import Invoices. For direct expenses, go to Reconciliation, Cash Flow, Import Entries in and out. Since our example is an AP bill, we'll go to Purchases, Bills, Import Bills. Select line items, locate the exported file, and click Next. And that's pretty much it. That's how easy it is to upload transactions into Jazz. Simply click Finish, and you'll be taken back to your dashboard where you can review the imported transaction. And that's how you integrate Jazz with Tofu, export your transactions, and import them back into Jazz. Thank you so much for watching.